Semi-final time is here. The most intense time, the most intense weekend of the tournament is upon us, and we have some amazingly interesting matchups on the men's and women's side. Djokovic came through Berrettini playing probably the best tennis he's played all tournament, and now I think, in my opinion, he has the toughest test that he's going to face in this U.S. Open, in Sasha Zverev, who did beat him at the Olympics. We all know this story. So that's an interesting matchup. We're going to get into Felix versus Daniil Medvedev. We're going to get into Leila Ani takes on Sabalenka. It's the Canadian takeover. And we're just going to break down all these matchups and see who is the most likely to win the U.S. Open on the men's and women's. Djokovic, 2 wins away from the Grand Slam. Is he going to do it? Let's get into it. This is The Slice, presented by Rally Tennis, covering the U.S. Open 2021. It's been an amazing tournament, folks, and thank you for being with us through the whole tournament. We've been posting lots on our Instagram at The Slice Tennis, on here, just covering it as best as we could, and your support has always been super appreciated. Thank you guys for visiting the website, picking up merch, and just it's been an amazing time to be able to watch the youngest players in the game come and make a massive impact in the biggest stages in tennis. We have that happening right now. 2 of the women are under 20. Felix is just turned 20 years old, and he's right in the mix. So this is just awesome. The Slice is brought to you by Rally Tennis. It's a tennis app where you can find players to play with, whether you can play. I can only play weekends, and all the people in your area are going to show up that you can play with. You can join local leagues, compete in the playoffs, just dominate your local tennis scene. It's just the app to get better at tennis if you like playing tennis, which I'm assuming you do because you're on our tennis channel. So check out Rally Tennis. The link is below to download the app and get playing more tennis because tennis is sweet. We all love tennis. That's why we're here. You know who's playing great tennis right now? Novak Djokovic. He took out Berrettini in awesome form. I didn't give Berrettini much of a chance before this match. He looked a little low energy coming into it. He also had a fairly easy draw coming into it. And also, it's just a bad matchup for him versus Djokovic, obviously, because as we know, Djokovic loves guys who hit big. He can just handle their pace and just direct it back to them. But Djokovic played really amazing. 44 winners, 28 unforced errors. That's awesome. That's an awesome stat. And after the first set, where Berrettini did very well to break and to get that set, Djokovic really just turned it up a notch, and Berrettini could not run with him. He took it up a notch, and he stayed there the entire rest of the match, which was pretty amazing. He was hitting winners from both sides. He was being aggressive, hitting the ball harder than we've seen. So that's a great sign for Djokovic fans. He seems like he's playing his best tennis now, coming into, like I've said, I think the hardest match. Zverev is also playing great tennis. He took out young Jannik Sinner and Lloyd Harris, who was playing amazing, both in straight sets. So that's a big deal. So the matchup here is what is the biggest problem for Djokovic and also a problem for Zverev. Zverev is the guy that I feel in this draw, other than Felix, who could do this, obviously, but to a lesser extent, who can stand up in the baseline and hurt Djokovic and hit through him and have different ways to win points than just out Djokovicing Djokovic. He can play the aggressive tennis that can beat Djokovic. We saw that in the Olympics. Some stats from that match were Zverev hit 30 winners, only 14 unforced errors, and he won 20 out of 26 points at the net. So he came to the net 26 times, and he won almost all of those points, which is a huge, huge part for him now. So the key for this is Djokovic is going to have to play good. He's going to have to get Zverev on the back foot, and Zverev is going to have to stay on the front foot, stay up on the baseline when he can, and play aggressive and hit through the sides of the court. Zverev is such a tall guy. When he gets when balls that are outside of the middle on the angles, he can hit through the side of the court so well with so much power because he's 6'6", and he did that very well in the Olympics, and he's going to have to do that again in this match. It's a 5-set match, though. It's different. I think Zverev, like I said all year, Zverev could have beat Djokovic at the Australian Open. He had the clear lead in that match, but he didn't. He choked. Is that going to change now because he's won the Olympics, he's won Cincinnati, and he's got that belief now against Djokovic where he's like, I can straight up beat this guy? I don't know. We'll have to see. It's a 5-set match, though, and that's going to be very important how he can hold up through 5 sets. He's got to win, I think, 2 of the first 3 sets to win this match. I can't see him coming back from like 2 sets down or, less chance with 2-1 sets down. So he's going to have to play great. And Djokovic is going to have to play very solid to get through this also, because I think Zverev has the firepower to beat him in 3 or 4 sets. Djokovic hasn't been getting guys done in 3 sets. He's had 13 hours and 18 minutes on court, where Zverev's only had 9 hours and 23 minutes. That's a big discrepancy. So that's going to be something to manage. We're going to see how both guys handle the pressure and handle the physicality, because this is going to be a physical match. We know that. Now on to the Canadian matchups, because if you didn't know, you might not care because you might not be Canadian, but I am. And we've got 2 Canadian youngsters trying to make an absolute dream run at this year's U.S. Open. So we have, first up, Felix Auger-Aliassime taking on Daniil Medvedev, one of the toughest, most baddest men on planet Earth. The number 2 seed, he's been breezing through his draw. It looked very good. What could young Felix do to hurt Daniil Medvedev? Well, based on what I've seen with my eyeballs at this U.S. Open, a lot. Felix has been serving amazingly. We know that does not hurt Daniil Medvedev. But he's also been coming to net a lot and being very good there. He's also been returning very well. And obviously Medvedev has a great serve, but Felix has shown that he has a great return. And he's just super athletic and can game with Medvedev. Medvedev's obviously going to try and do what Djokovic has been doing to other players, like taking your legs, and he's going to make you run. Felix can do that. If there's anyone out there that can run and be physical, it's Felix Auger-Aliassime, in my mind. So it's going to be a tough match for Felix to do, because he's just going to not feel like he's not going to get any help from Medvedev missing balls. He's going to have to do it all on his own. And we have seen Felix get tight in other times before. So in the tight points of this match, is Felix going to be able to stand up, hit through the court, and just play his game? He already beat a guy in Roberto Bautista Agut in a 5-set match this tournament, who's a similar guy to Medvedev in the sense that he's a pro. He's not going to give you any free, easy points. So Felix does have a shot at this for sure. Is he the underdog? Of course. Medvedev is one of the baddest men, and he's unbelievably good on hard court. He's only had one blip, which was at Cincinnati. He won in Toronto, and he's obviously gunning for the trophy this year at the U.S. Open. So going to be a super interesting match. Felix has got to have belief in himself. He can get it done. I love the way he's been playing, mixing it up, serving, returning, coming to net, and his strokes are just looking less whippy. They got a bit more punch, and he's looking dialed in. So he's here to play. He's not here to just be like, I had a semifinal run. That was awesome. He's here to beat Medvedev and beat whoever, probably Djokovic in the final, or Zverev, and win the U.S. Open. I honestly believe he thinks he's trying to do that, and we'll see if he actually believes that tomorrow when they play. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Now onto the ladies. We have, first up, our Canadian queen, the princess, Leylah Annie Fernandez, who has come not out of nowhere, because we've all known she's good, but this has been an absolutely amazing run, taking out so many tough players on the way to the final. She took out Osaka. If you need to know. If you don't know, she's taken out Osaka, Kerber, Svitolina in a row, all those seeds, and now comes into Sabalenka, who is the highest seed she's going to have to play, and Sabalenka is a tough customer. Of course, she's got so much power, and she might have enough power to take the racket out of Leylah's hands, but I doubt it, because Leylah actually defends well, and she stays up on the baseline. She moves out so quickly to balls, especially to her forehand side, and she can use that pace from her opponent to really hurt them with her lefty fear hand. So is it going to be too much? I don't know. Sabalenka can obviously game from both sides. She hits huge off both sides, and she might be able to find Leylah's backhand a lot more and not let Leylah be on the front foot. The reason Leylah's, with her small frame, is able to get so much power is because she uses her legs and the weight that she does have so well to lean through shots and to really get all the power she can. I think if she's playing off the back foot, she's not going to be able to do that as much, and she's not going to be able to hurt. We've seen just her be able to hurt Svitolina, hurt Kerber with that forehand, because she gets early into it and uses her weight to get through the ball. And if Sabalenka is playing really well and feeling comfortable, that might not allow Leylah to do that, and she might be more in trouble there because she's not going to be able to hurt Sabalenka as much. So I think she's got a great chance to win. Obviously, if she's beaten the 3 players she's beaten, she can win this tournament. That's just a straight-up fact. So it's going to be coming down to who can play better on the day, and that's usually how it goes. And I'm rooting 1,000% for Leylah Annie Fernandez to get to the final, and you know what? Just win the U.S. Open, because Bianca Andreescu did it with barely any experience on the WTA, winning it in 2019. And Leylah Annie Fernandez can do this for sure again this year, but Sabalenka might be her toughest opponent left. So that's going to be interesting. Then we got the England sensation, the Queen of England, born in Toronto though, so I think the Canadians can we claim her? Emma Raducanu taking on Maria Sakkari. The pop versus the fighter. Raducanu's got a sick forehand as well, and she's got the pop to hurt most people, but Sakkari's like the most athletic woman on tour probably, and she can run down anything, and she can really absorb the pace that I feel like will be coming from Raducanu. So will that make, because Raducanu's been murdering the draw, just killing everyone in it, but and she has beaten some pretty good players, but Sakkari's a whole nother level of athleticism, I feel like, across the net, and is that going to be a change up for Raducanu? We'll see how she can handle the pressure, because obviously she's in the semifinals now. She has had to come through qualifying. I think she's like the only player to ever make it as far as the qualifier at the U.S. Open. So it's absolutely amazing. That's going to be an amazing match. I really can't pick a winner in that one, but I can pick a winner in the women's draw, and that is Leylah Annie Fernandez. In my opinion, we're going all the way Canada to the moon. That's the breakdown, though, folks. I'm checking Leylah Annie Fernandez to win the U.S. Open on the women's side, and Djokovic is obviously the favorite now on the men's side. But if he's going for the Grand Slam, this is the hardest route without, this is basically the hardest route he could have had. I think if Dominic Thiem was playing good and not injured, he would be, right up there, better than maybe Zverev and Medvedev. But this is what we're left with, and this is the hardest route he's got. Zverev, extremely tough. Medvedev, extremely tough. Djokovic is extremely tough. Can he do it? We will have to see. But history's going to be happening in front of us in multiple different ways. We're going to see if Djokovic can get it done. Stay tuned here, folks, for a finals preview. Thanks for checking out the slice. If you're going to bet on any of these matches, make sure you use betobet.com. The link is below. They're our betting partner for the U.S. Open. As always, click the links below. That supports the show. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on Twitter. I'll be live tweeting during all these matches. We'll see you on Instagram at The Slice Tennis for all your updates that you might need. Thanks for supporting the show. We will see you next time. Bye.